हमारे अंदर जो शक्तियाँ हैं उसमें से एक शक्ति ऐसी है कि जो हमारे को परमेश्वर से संबंधित कर देती है। उस शक्ति का नाम कुंडलिनी है। वो हमारे रीढ़ की हड्डी में जो त्रिकोणाकार अस्थि है उसमें सुप्तावस्था में रहती है। जब वो देखती है कि कोई ऐसा अधिकारी उसके आगे खड़ा हुआ है तो वो स्वयं ही खड़ी हो जाती है, और जिस प्रकार ये रस्सी या ये कनेक्शन जिस प्रकार हम लोग मेन से लगा देते हैं, उसी प्रकार वो शक्ति हमें उस मेन से लगा करके और हमें परमेश्वर से संबंधित करती है। इसी प्रकार हम अपने आत्मा को जानते हैं।
ये बाहर का समय है और इस समय अनेक लोग अपने सुकृतों को फलद्रूप होते हुए देखेंगे। आपने जो पुण्य पहले जन्म में किए हैं उसके आज आशीर्वाद स्वरूप आपको आत्म साक्षात्कार होगा।
When the Kundalini rises, you actually can see the movement of Kundalini. There have been many people who have been talking of Kundalini awakening. Actually, none of them who say so have shown the rising of the Kundalini. The reason being, the Kundalini never rose. The Kundalini only rises when there is somebody who is already enlightened and who knows the job of rising the Kundalini.
Today, in these modern times, we have a very subtle type of slavery which is every day eating us, which is so self-destroying that we are not even aware of it and we get destroyed. This destruction is working in so many ways that if we do not really awaken ourselves to the truth, there's a possibility that nothing will be left out of this creation. There are people who give big lectures. I've met many big people from United Nations and from all these big agencies. They talk about the coming destruction, the future shock, and this is going to happen. There are big books they discuss. They sit on the streets, they'll discuss. They are in a pub, they are discussing. They are in a party, they are discussing. But they do not realize what it means. This destruction is a kind of a destruction that has never taken before. Because this destruction is going to come from within and not from without. We have reached a certain depth in our awareness, and if we do not touch the source of our sustenance, this destruction is going to work out. Now for many people it is, forget it, we'll see about it. Some people are of this opinion, all right, forget it. What destruction, all right, doesn't matter. We'll see it tomorrow. And some of them I've seen are sitting down waiting. Oh God, thank God there's destruction, so this all is finished. We don't have to bother our heads. Thank God there is destruction promised. Whatever attitude one may take, one has to realize that these are very serious things. The creation has reached its maximum growth now. The growth is expressed as human beings. These human beings are the actors on the stage. Whole nature is working out this new happening Now only one thing has to happen to you is that you have to get connected with the divine. You have to get connected with the whole. You have to know your own meaning and you have to know your purpose. If this can happen to you, then you are in the other world. You are made for this. You are made a human being with a purpose. We must think, all the scientists must ask once at least this question, why? Why are we made human beings? From animal stage, why have we come to this stage? What is the reason? This question is working in the unconscious of every seeker today. That's how we have so many seekers all over the world. And these seekers are just trying to find out why are we here. Some of them find an answer sometimes in some material well-being. Say our strikes nowadays. But it's very narrow view of the whole thing. Very narrow view. You want to have more pay, all right, have it. Then what? Those who talk of communism, if you ask them, they said, oh, we haven't got joy as yet. I am not against communism or against democracy. Both things are just jokes to me. You are neither communistic nor democratic. Only after realization you can become both simultaneously. Because you have no powers to be capitalistic or democratic, you have no power to vote. You don't know anything about yourself. What are you voting for? You can't see. Unless and until there is light, unless and until we can see, how are we going to vote for? For example, we vote a person for what? Oh, he's a very nice man, all right. What is nice about him? How do you know he's a nice man? How do you know he will not be a bad man? Can you say that today the one who looks like a nice, very nice person will not emit scorpions or snakes all around him? A person who apparently looks a beautiful personality may turn out to be a horrid person. There is no absolute way of judging anyone, so how are we to vote anyone? If you think that you know how to judge, then I think you have to still learn. Because till you make lots of mistakes, you will not admit that I don't know. That's the point. Once you reach that state of saying, I don't know, I say this is a nice man, but I can't say, I'm not sure about this person. That's the point where you reach, when you are unsure about it, that you want to know surely if something is really truthful and honest. Our sense of honesty and everything is so superficial. It's so superficial. For us, honesty means if you give me 5 pounds, I return 5 pounds to his done, finished, dishonest. Everything is so superficial. That's why we can never be satisfied even if you get 10% more pay or 20% more pay. You are not going to be happy. Take it from me. Material things do not give us happiness. Never. But I do not say that we do not need material things. We need material things. But matter is something like a cup which has the nectar in it. If you are thirsty, you cannot take it from an empty cup, anything. It may be a cup of gold. What does it make difference to you? You must have something to quench your thirst. And that thirst, unless and until it is quenched, you are not going to be happy. And what is that thirst? Is this, that still you have not known yourself. It's a very unconscious thirst. it comes. You don't know what you are seeking. You don't know why you are unhappy. You don't know what you want. That is the unconscious which is working it out. But the time has come that you should know what you are and what is your glory, what is your greatness, what are your powers. They are all built within yourself. All these days when you grew up in your evolutionary process, all these things were built within you as shown here. They are all there. Actually, I am just a catalyst, you can say. Just a candle which is enlightened. And this candle, when touches another candle which is ready, that gets enlightened. I mean, you may give it a big scientific name, this, that, a charged personality, this, that, I don't understand. It's very simple for me. You are all ready for it. I just touch you and you get enlightened and you get the light, and when you touch someone, that person also gets enlightened. Now you may say, Mother, how can that be so simple? I mean, so many people say that, Mother, you're too simple. How can that be? I just don't understand what should I have, 2 horns or something to make it complicated. Everything that is living is the simplest thing. That's the sign of living. Have you seen the flower? How simple it is to grow a flower. It just works. You just get some seeds, sow them, and you get the plants. How simple it is. Do we ever think how it works out? Looks very complicated if you start thinking about it. You will go mad if you start analyzing it. But it's so simple. In the same way, this happening is also a very, very simple thing. It is called Sahaja. Sahaja has 2 meanings. Sahaj means simple. Also it means the thing that is born with you. Sahaj is a simple thing because it is born with, your nose is born with you. Or it's a simple thing. You don't have to do anything, press it or anyway, do anything to it to breathe. It's there. In the same way, this built-in process is within you. It's just there. To me, it is absolutely simple. And to you also, it will be simple as soon as you get it. So this argument about it being so simple, I just can't understand myself. Why should there be an argument? Supposing you can eat this way, why should you ask that how can it be so simple to eat this way? It's so simple because it is so vital. It is so important. All vital things are simple and easily available, like your own breathing. For that, if you have to do something special, then this breathing is not possible. How many people are going to survive? Now, this simple thing, this simple method is the method of the all-pervading divine power, the Holy Ghost. This all-pervading divine power is the Shakti, the primordial power that works it out. Do we realize how this Shakti works otherwise? Are we ever watching a flower becoming a fruit? Who does that? Not one flower, but you must have seen millions and millions and billions of these flowers are turning into fruits. And who does that? We never think. We take it for granted. All living things are done by this divine power. Human beings cannot do anything that is living. What they can do is everything that is dead or deadening, like strikes is a deadening thing. What we can do is to make something, a table, a chair, if the tree is dead. We are doing nothing but dead work. And this deadening thing dominates us because we form habits. We form habits. With these habits, this matter sits on our head. And the spirit, which is the vibrant thing, which is the source, which is the controlling thing, becomes dormant. This dormant force, if somehow becomes enlightened, and our attention becomes enlightened. Our attention becomes enlightened. We become a different person. We become a yogi. We become a person who is united with God. For that, you don't have to wear funny dresses. It makes no difference what sort of dress you wear. It makes no difference how you comb your hair or what sort of food you eat. It's something so within. It has nothing to do with these outward things. All our ideas about even charities and about being kind to others and all these things are very superficial. When you become that, when you become compassion, when you become love, then you don't have to tell yourself at all. You don't have to argue with it. You just become. It just flows. The compassion flows. It acts. You don't have to argue it out. You don't have to tell yourself, I should be compassionate, I should be kind. You just become. I went to Italy and there were 3-4 people who got interested in Sahajogis. But they said, we don't want to join Sahajayoga. I said, why? Because these people don't smoke. I said, I never told them not to smoke. Never asked them, did I? I never said don't smoke. I just asked them, do you smoke? Do you smoke, or you have given up smoking, or your mother has forced you not to smoke? They said nothing of the kind. We used to smoke packets of cigarettes. We used to drink. We were drug addicts. But something happened to us. We just gave up. We don't know how. So simple. Mother never told us. We just became like that. What is there to tell? I mean, once you have found it, once you have seen the light, you are not bothered. Suppose you see a rope here. You might be frightened. You might think it's a snake because there's no light, you can't see. You might be running helter-skelter. The whole house might be upside down. But once the light is there, so it's a rope, all right. So all the fears drop out because you have seen it. All the pressures drop out. All the hang-ups, they drop out. Whatever is abnormal drops out, and you become an absolutely a normal person. Absolutely a normal person. That's what it is that you have to become. But it is much, much more than that. This is not only that you get your physical fitness. Many people have been cured. They must have told you that cancer is cured. Yes, true, cancer is cured. Many diseases are cured. Mental cases are cured. If you have been to horrible gurus, you get cured. All these things happen. But that's not the end of it. This is just the redeeming part of it. The redeeming part is that you are redeemed of all these physical, mental, emotional problems. But the another part of it is that you yourself get the power. You become the prophets. The men of God will become prophets. That's what your great poet William Blake had said. The men of God will become prophets, and they will have power to make others prophet. This is the sign. He has given you the sign. You become prophets. That means you get the power to do all this yourself. Every individual can do it. Even small children can do it. When you become the prophet, you also know everything about it, what you are doing, how you have to do it, how to raise the Kundalini, how to cross all the different centers which are sick, how to keep it there. You become absolutely the master. Now the prophets were, we can say, like William Blake was a prophet, all right. He was a seer. He saw this future. He's mentioned everything that was going to happen to Sahajayoga, no doubt. I don't know how many are aware of it. Most of them thought he was a lunatic. They couldn't believe him. He saw that 100 years back, clearly the whole picture. But nobody understood him. He was a prophet. Nobody understood him what he said. Those who understood also had an academic sort of an interest in him. And some did feel that there may be some sort of a truth in what he has said and described. All these great prophets had a big, big problem. I had a discussion with an ambassador recently who is a very learned man from India. And he was telling me that the biggest problem was that with rationality, with explanations, how far can we go? Supposing you say there is all pervading power. They said, how are we to believe? It's all cock and bull story. Prove it to us. By argument, of course, you cannot prove it. But for experiencing also, you cannot prove it. So they used to give up. Like Adi Shankaracharya, at a point he reached, he wrote about Viveka Chudamani and all these treatises, and then he gave up. And he started describing the mother. He said, I give up, that's all. And they said that he went soft in his head because he couldn't go ahead with his philosophies and started praising the mother. He said, what's wrong? The same thing happens with Bible, with Quran, with everything that people think. Either you follow them with faith, with blind faith, do not question anything, just accept whatever they are saying, become fanatics, kill each other, die, then it's all right. Or else, you just give up, you become communists, no God. If you have to have your brains alive, then you better give up all these religions. With arguments, one cannot achieve it. With blind faith, one cannot achieve it. Rationality cannot take it there, or this emotional adherence will not take you there. It's actualization. It's the happening that really makes you that. The reality that is actually expressing within your central nervous system.
Just put your hands. Now you have to do a few things. First of all, you must forgive yourself. Very important. You must forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive, you feel guilty. And when you feel guilty, what happens? The center on this side, this one, which will be, gets into trouble, into great trouble. And because of that, you cannot feel the vibrations. Also, with this kind of a thing happening in you, the results could be very serious. You can get angina as one of the diseases, or also you can get spondylitis. So you should not feel in any way guilty about it. Whatever has happened in the past is past. We are not talking of the past, we are talking of the present. So just forgive yourself, forgive yourself. Now, second thing you have to do is to forgive others. It's very important. But they say it's very difficult to forgive others. Whether you forgive or don't forgive, actually you don't do anything. Logically you don't do anything. But if you do not forgive, then you torture yourself for nothing at all and play into the hands who have troubled you. So best thing is to forgive. Leave them alone. Just forgive them. It's very important because if you do not forgive, the center here where I put the red mark, which is known as the Agya Chakra, gets into trouble. And it's a very constricted chakra. So to open the chakra, best thing is to forgive. Please, forgive everyone. forgive yourself and forgive everyone. Now you can close your eyes if you want to and bend your head a little. Now put your right hand towards me, and with the left hand you see if there's a cool or a hot breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your child. Please put your hand up, not away, but up, and moving it on sides to find out if there's a cool breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area. It could be also hot. It could be hot if you have not forgiven others and not forgiven yourself. It could be hot. It doesn't matter. Please see for yourself with your left hand if there's a cool breeze coming out of your head. Now, please put your left hand towards me, bend your head and see for yourself with the right hand if there's a cool or a hot breeze coming out of your head. Once more, again, once more. Again, put your left hand on top of your forehead, bend your head. On top of your head, on the fontanelle bone area, just see if there is cool or a hot breeze coming up. If it is hot, please forgive yourself and forgive others. Please bend your head. See for yourself if there's a cool or a hot breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your child. Now you put both your hands towards me like this. And see for yourself if there is a cool or a hot breeze coming in your hand, on your fingertips or on the palm. Just see for yourself. Now, just put hands like this, not like that, but hands in an open way. Now, all those who have felt cool breeze on the fingertips or on their palms or out of their fontanelle bone area or hot breeze, please raise both your hands. Please raise both your hands. Most of you, most of you. May God bless you.